I'm Jim Root. As a former pro fisherman, I've spent my life on the water. Now I'm searching for something deeper, the stories of people and cultures who, just like me, have been forever shaped by the sea. I've just landed in Maine, a place I visited often as a kid but haven't seen in over 20 years. This time around, I'm chasing perspective and one of the world's most iconic fishing experiences. My Maine journey starts in Portland, a city whose history and future are forever bound to the ocean that surrounds it.
In 1900, this was the most modern port in the world. The eyes of the world were on Portland, Maine.
Ross is a local tour guide and historian. He's quickly showing me that every nook and cranny of this town has a story to tell. The buildings, the statues, and even the roads.
So in the very early days of Maine, what the Brits wanted from Maine was fish, codfish, but you can't sail an empty ship across the North Atlantic. So they would have these stones in their hold. They'd come over, throw the stones off, and eventually we had so many stones, somebody said, let's pave Portland, Maine in them. It's remarkable to think of the trade that went on in those days.
Portland honors its maritime roots by maintaining a working waterfront, something many modern cities have let slip away.
They passed the working waterfront law, and at least 51% of the activity down here has to be marine related. This is a really interesting and innovative way in how you preserve your maritime heritage.
From the sea came riches that built a town. And today, there's still one major cash cow in these waters.
This one's got 2 crusher claws. It's the first time I've ever seen it.
And how many lobsters do you think you've seen?
Tens of millions.
This is Luke. And this is Luke's Lobster. This is also Luke's Lobster. Luke is a born Mainer, and after a stint in New York in finance, he returned home and now runs a lobster roll empire with over 30 lobster shacks across the U.S. But the true jewel in his crown is right here on the Portland waterfront.
You can sit anywhere in this restaurant and you can just feel and see the working waterfront thriving. You can see fishermen come and go, sell their catch, unload traps, work on traps. My father was a lobsterman, turned lobster dealer, turned lobster processor. Like, I grew up on that pier, unloading boats, grading lobsters. I loved every bit of it. It's just like, it's that vibrant community of the working waterfront that I think is what makes this really special.
Everything that you've talked about in the air, the food, the traps, the whole experience. Never seen it all captured on both sides in one place, like here.
There's a spirit of camaraderie and respect out on the waterfront. From the lobstermen, to the restaurateurs, to the surrounding small business owners. They all depend on what can be pulled out of the ocean. And Luke is just one of countless examples of family traditions keeping this industry alive. But now I'm about to venture into parts of Maine that are lesser known to me. And I'm curious what Luke thinks I might discover.
This is something that we sort of package at Luke's as the Maine way, and something we try and train into our teammates. As you explore this great state, you're gonna see cars proactively stop at crosswalks. You're gonna see people hold doors for people. It's like, there's a weird marine code, right? Where every time you go by somebody, you wave. And it's like, there's so much of that exists just in your experience wandering in Maine.
Right now, I need to try this roll.
Yeah, dig in, man.
Awesome. Wow.
It's good.
You guys can't have any of it. Mine. Not sharing it. So good. My plan is simple. I'm journeying up the coast, stopping in areas of Maine I've never been to, before heading all the way to the northern tip of the state for the unforgettable experience of fishing at the legendary Grand Lake. My first stop is here at the Craignare Inn by the sea. Considered an iconic and sustainable bed and breakfast, I'm sitting down to dinner tonight with Togue Braun, the scallop queen of Maine. While lobster might be the king of the sea, Togue has been working diligently to revitalize the scallop fishery, a crucial piece of the ocean's bounty.
One of my first jobs was at Harbor Fish Market in Portland, Maine. I remember walking across Commercial Street in my rubber boots and my apron smeared with eel guts and blood, and feeling like it was winter, it was snowing, I was freezing cold, and I remember thinking, I have arrived. Like, this is what I want to do.
That's so great.
Over a number of years, I worked with fishermen in Maine to help figure out a way to help bring back the scallop fishery for Maine. And I learned that the way Maine fishermen fish for scallops is so different from the much larger offshore fleet that produces about 95% of U.S. sea scallops, that Maine fishermen are essentially producing a different product. And
Wow.
that's why I am so passionate about it.
What about that process makes them different?
Well, let me tell you. So 95% of U.S. sea scallops come from big boats that are at sea for a week or more at a time. They store their scallops in cloth bags buried in ice to keep them fresh. That ice melts over the course of the trip, and the scallops absorb it like sponges. It's adding water weight and it's diluting flavor. In Maine, our guys can only get 90 or 135 pounds, depending on where they are, so they go out and come right back in within hours. So
Thank you.
the Causeway chef extraordinaire Gil prepared these for us, and when I say thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
When I say prepared, it's really just a very modest preparation, because when you have scallops of this quality, you don't want to obscure the flavor. So here he's just seared them lightly with some olive oil and put on some flake salt. Here he has sliced them thinly and drizzled them with olive oil and Maine flake sea salt and a few chives. So that is a Casco Bay scallop. And the texture, you'll notice, because it does not have the extra water, is really creamy.
Wow. It actually does, it tastes buttery.
Yeah, it's got this toothsome feel like a tuna or a really good, like a Wagyu beef. It's got that
Yeah.
a toothsomeness. Now we're going to go to a really interesting area, Gouldsboro Bay. Gouldsboro Bay is only open for a few days once every 3 years. It's a long, narrow bay in down East Maine.
What? Oh, I feel incredibly fortunate. I may never get to eat one of these again.
Probably not, unless you go on my website and order them in a few years. Because I can only get them once every 3 years.
I can taste the difference.
Yeah. So now you've tasted them raw, and
Yes.
now I want you to taste them seared. So,
Same ones.
same one. This is from Gouldsboro Bay also.
Oh, the super rare.
Love that. Caramelization on the outside. There are lots of steps generally between the American fisherman and the consumer. But if your fishmonger can tell you who harvested your seafood, then chances are there aren't that many steps between the producer
got it.
and the consumer. When you buy my scallops, you get the name of the fisherman, the day it was harvested, his boat name, the area, and that really is important. And that's my mission, is to show people what scallops are supposed to taste like.
Cheers to that.
To Maine seafood.
In the Maine way.
This morning we're on a ferry heading to one of Maine's coastal islands. There's many ferries that go to many different islands, each containing their own specific brand of adventure. But this one is ours. After about an hour's voyage on the sea, we've arrived. Welcome to North Haven. Only about 400 people call North Haven their home full-time. But in the summer, that number triples. Every day, hundreds of visitors like me take the ferry over for a day of biking, hiking, or just exploring.
Adam.
Hey, Jim.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah, welcome to North Haven.
Thank you. Is this you?
This is it. Yeah, this is Chariot.
Awesome.
Let's go see the farm.
All right. I'm excited.
This is my friend Adam Campbell, a North Haven legend that has lived on the island since the 80s. He also happens to be born and raised in New York, just like yours truly.
My name's Adam. I'll be your tour guide today. When I came here, there was 4 digits to your telephone number.
No exchange.
No exchange. So I'm in line at the coffee shop, and there's this magazine up on the rack up there, but in the back were ads for the schooners that sail out of Camden and Rockport. And I was like, they must need some young guy to pull on the ropes. So I called them up and I said, I really want a job on these boats. I got hired. Best summer of my life. So I did that for 2 years. So I'm looking for another job. And the only job in the paper was out here at the boatyard. So I did an interview, and the guy hired me, and he says, I'm gonna show you where you're gonna live. So we drive to the east side of the island, and there's this cabin right on the shore. It's got a stone fireplace, brass bed, overlooks this cove, and then he goes, the rent is free. And I said, yeah, I'll take the job. So that was 40 years ago, and I never left.
This is North Haven Oyster Co. Adam's created a unique paradise here that brings new meaning to the phrase, the world is your oyster.
So this shop is where we make plans to save planet Earth. It's my diabolical scheme. Everyone in the world grows their oysters in this. And this is made out of plastic. And so I was like doing this for 25 years, and I'm like, I've got an innovation. I said, I want to design, build, and deploy a plastic-free vessel. So this is a cedar crate. This is basically a copy of a Maine lobster crate. Oysters are the biggest filter feeders on planet Earth, right? 50 gallons of water through one oyster in a 24-hour period. Yeah, amazing, right? So they're cycling that microplastic and that distinct from the plastic. And I'm like, they probably don't like it. Did 100 plastic and 100 of these cedar crates. The wooden crates grew the oysters a third bigger.
Wow.
We're in one of the most ecologically sound businesses on planet Earth. So why are we using plastic to grow oysters?
Yeah.
Want to go see some seed?
Yes.
Let's go do it.
Dying to go.
Adam's methods for farming oysters are truly world-class. Below these waters sit a bed of hundreds of thousands of oysters, slowly working their way to maturity.
So these are all oysters right here. All these little fuzzy bits.
Oh yeah.
That's all a wild oyster bed. So they grow in the summer and then they stop and there's a ridge. So this is first summer right there, second summer, third summer, fourth summer, fifth summer, sixth summer, seventh summer, eighth summer, 9, 10, 11, that oyster is 11 years old, roughly. So I called my wholesaler and I said, hey, we got a new oyster. He's like, great. I said, well, the shells are green. Silence. He goes, I'm joking. They love green oysters. Send them. Yeah, that's funny, right?
You even startled me.
Typically, he would buy 2,500 a week or something like that. And he called me back. He goes, I want 10,000. Sold him 10,000. He called me up 2 days later. He said, I want another 10. Then I'm like, wow, they really like this oyster. It's one of the best tasting oysters on planet Earth right there.
After our tour, Adam started cracking open oysters for myself, the crew, his staff. It felt like we were one 12-pack away from a full-on party. I thought, this is how it happens. This is how you come to North Haven and never leave. Had my wife and kids been here, I might have been okay with that. But alas, I had to say my goodbyes to Adam for now, because I had a flight to catch. Believe it or not, North Haven actually has its own airport. Or more accurately, it has a field where you can catch a ride. Departure times are, shall we say, proximate. It's time to go to Grand Lake.
Really can't get over how many small islands there are with just like 1 or 2 houses on it.
I haven't seen water like that outside of the Caribbean ever.
I know.
We land in Old Town to transfer to a seaplane, which will need to land on Grand Lake. Still, these 2 flights combined cut what would be a 5-hour journey by car and ferry down to about an hour of flight time.
All right, guys, take a look. This is the last piece of civilization we'll get to see before we leave.
And it's pretty spectacular to fly over Maine in a seaplane, just saying.
Old Town traffic, seaplane 45 Quebec departing the area to the east. Here we go, that's the last of our radio transmissions.
Soon, all civilization slips away, and the forest stretches to the horizon. And in that moment, something unexpected hits me.
I used to spend my summers in Maine, but I haven't been back in 20 years, and this is my first time back since my dad passed. And what didn't occur to me until we were up here is that this is maybe the closest I've felt to him since he passed away.
Is
view is 1,000 times better than mine.
When you land on the lake at Grand Lake Stream, the tranquility is powerful. No stoplights, no traffic, just nature. I was scheduled to start fishing tomorrow morning, but with about an hour of sunlight left, I threw my bag in my cabin, and my guide Keaton graciously led me out to the stream to get in the water. I knew the odds of catching anything at this time of day were slim to none, but sometimes it's just about getting your feet in the river. These are the moments that recharge my soul.
If the dogs are out, they're going to say hi loudly, but they won't bother you.
Oh, you're right on the river.
Yeah,
That's so pretty.
yeah. Matter of fact, that's one of the best fishing holes in the river right there.
Do you know what all these flowers are?
No, but she does.
Does she?
Yeah, I just know not to step on them.
Just on the other side of his wife's immaculate flower garden sits Bill Shammel's workshop, where he's been crafting Grand Laker canoes for the better part of 50 years. Before Bill was his father-in-law.
This canoe, Kathy's father probably built in the 50s.
For as old as it is, though, it still looks brand new.
If they're taken care of, they'll last a long time. In the early 1900s, these lakes became well known for salmon fishing. And sportsmen would get together and they'd tow double-end canoes up lake with the sportsmen and the guides on them and paddled around in the coves. And the cook at the sporting lodge ruled the roost, so they had to be back for supper time. And talked to some real old timers that didn't want to be late for supper. So anyway, around 1925, the Grand Laker was born.
The Grand Laker canoe is the unofficial mode of transport here on Grand Lake. And just like everything else up in the North Woods, change is hard to come by.
My father-in-law sold his first canoe for $125. And that canoe right there would sell now for $10,000. But I've been building them for over 30 years, and everything I've tried a new innovation, I've always gone back to the way it was. I've gone full circle with them.
I'm going to call you up and have you build me one.
Okay, come build it with me. That's the way I like to do it now.
Oh, my God. I would do that in a heartbeat.
Well, I was stationed in Portland, Maine on a Coast Guard cutter, and I met my wife, Pop's daughter, and she said to me one time, "You want to go home with me for the weekend?" And I said, "Sure." And when she said home, she meant it. I fell in love with the place immediately. That was over 50 years ago. I was really strong and could carry things around, so that endeared me to her father, and he was a very good mentor.
It's a thin slice of heaven, Bill.
Thank you.
One of the biggest things that brings people back is that things don't change. The lakes are the same as they were 50 years ago. We get multi-generational families that come back, and a lot of the patriarchs typically that will come were here 50 years ago, and they came with their dad or their grandfather, and they come back with their grandkids, and they love sharing this place with them.
Weatherby's has been a hunting and fishing lodge for over a century. There are maybe a handful of places like this left in the world. Something not lost on Jeff, who's been the owner and caretaker for the past 25 years. He and his daughter Keaton are registered Maine guides and will be leading me on my search for some giant smallmouth, and I couldn't be more excited.
It's a time-tested tradition to come here and sit in the dining room, talk about fishing with other guests. I think that's half the fun. People sharing a table from different parts of the world, and they can sit and have a conversation about something that they both understand. So that's actually, I think, really nice.
It is nice, but it's time to go fishing. This canoe's such a nice ride.
It's pretty smooth. And with this motor on it, we can...
You can rip with that motor on it. Yeah.
There we go.
Not a giant. Oh, you go. I don't even think that was a 1 pounder.
Might not have been.
No. No.
Rock?
Yeah. Looks good though.
Yeah, it did look good.
Pretty special to be on a lake this big and realize after a few hours you haven't seen another boat all day. It's a reminder that you truly are in the remote north. Big Lake features no navigational beacons or buoys. It's considered a shallow lake, with the occasional rock jetting out of the middle. You are completely dependent on the knowledge of your registered Maine guide.
Is it true the first guide in Maine was a woman?
Yes, that is true. I don't remember the year she got her guide's license in, but her name was Cornelia Flyrod Crosby.
In the quiet moments, you realize what a miracle this place really is. It's all the same, unchanged. Same lake, same canoe. Time has graciously frozen. And to top it all off, this is how Grand Lake guides do a shore lunch. Fried potatoes, coffee, and the biggest cast iron pan I have ever seen. Other guides around the world take notes.
I've never had a wood-fired shore lunch on a guide trip. I've been with some guides where you're lucky if you get a PB&J. This is, you don't find this anywhere. Everyone talks about the Maine way. From all different parts of Maine, you hear it repeatedly. And all I can think about right now as I'm like wrapping up my trip here is how this experience right now, like the fishing and sitting and getting to cook with you guys and eat with you, really sort of encapsulates that whole thing. Like, we're out here exploring nature, sharing a meal together, some laughs, possibly even looking for someone else who can fish better than me. But no, it's been, definitely the trip of a lifetime.
As someone who truly loves the outdoors, this trip has blown me away. I've come to realize that the Maine way to me is rooted in connection. Connection to nature, to each other, connecting the past and future. As a kid, Maine was a giant outdoor playground. And now as an adult, I have a deeper appreciation for its rugged beauty and unique culture. It's a testament to Maine's enduring appeal that it can capture the heart at any age. The allure of Maine speaks to every generation, offering endless adventure that never grows old.